Where you grow up is not your choice, and it ultimately defines the level of success that you achieve. I'm Christy in Canada, here to spill the tea on all things immigration. Random fun fact about me, I once had my passport stolen. It really sucked. In today's video, I read a chapter from my book, Immigrating to Canada versus the USA. We find out which country is set up to help you build a business empire or a lucrative side hustle. Let's jump in with an immigrant story. Johannes' story. Montreal, Quebec. I stare at my computer screen in disbelief. Demandez, refusez. You have got to be effing kidding me. The government's agent email sits there statically and definitively. The application for my business grant has been denied. I am so angry my brain can't even compute the reasoning listed in the email. I stand up from my desk and I kick a box. It flies into the wall. I'm not the type of person who kicks a box, but today I am. It's bureaucracy, on red tape, on some government box checker's binary agenda, and my business and my life were on the line. I crumple back into my chair and I put my hands into my head. I swear my hairline is receding by the minute. My brain goes back to the international trade event where I met the Canadian contingent. We strike up an easy conversation as I bring up my family's connections in Canada. He perks up and he starts to inquire earnestly about my business and work. He is so keen. Before you know it, there are promises of if I move my technology company to Canada, there would be ample government-supported grants for research and development. He brags of the talent of the people as well as the deep connection to the States. It was enough to get me and my family over here. It took so much effort to convince my wife that this would be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to build something bigger, that the Canadian lifestyle would suit us, and that being in Canada would make the expansion to the States a real option for the business. But being here, that is something different. The promises of swift-moving business deals and support to set up shop have been slower than imagined. Getting to meet the right people to grease the wheels has not been easy, and the government grants that they were bragging about back in the Netherlands, they have been a bureaucratic nightmare. Slowly, my capital's being drained, and now the entire company is at risk. I wonder if I've made the biggest gamble on my life. On the wrong horse. Entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs are a special breed of people. Who gives up working a 40-hour work week so they can work an 80-hour work week instead? Entrepreneurs do. That's who. All in the hopes of growing something bigger in the long run. To clarify, I'm not talking about self-employment, contract work, or side hustles. I'm talking about a scalable business where you can step away as the operator and the thing still runs. Nothing wrong with this, but just a bit of clarity for the section. For these entrepreneurs, it's a bumpy existence. The demanding nature of getting investments, making investors happy, finding good talent, having cash flow, and garnering grants are all in a day's work. Plus, the lows are often met with some amazing highs once there's an occasional breakthrough. It's a ride. And then you add immigration to the mix. This cross-cultural adventure is like buckling up for a chaotic roller coaster with unanticipated detours on every corner. Canada. Canada isn't always synonymous with entrepreneurship, but I think it's an unfair image that we have that we're not friendly toward businesses. Canada is like your loyal sidekick who has your back in the world of entrepreneurship. They believe in giving everyone a chance to shine. Canada is all about supporting small businesses and startups. They offer funding, training, and mentorship to help entrepreneurs get their ideas off the ground. It's like having a buddy who says, "You can do it. We can make it happen together." Canada does have its fair share of entrepreneurship. I used to work for a chamber of commerce and we ran a small business week, and I can tell you that there are some amazing, innovative businesses in Canada. However, I can also say Canada often faces quite a bit of red tape. It also has taxes at multiple levels of government, which can hinder the growth of small business. Canada also has stricter labor laws to protect the worker, and sometimes it's not looked upon as a friendly business-facing situation. But Canada also has great government grants for businesses and innovative research in the tech space as well as other industries. It's also worth noting that Canada has a higher minimum wage than the US of A, which is great for workers, but not so much for business owners. USA. The USA is like a fearless pioneer who's been conquering new frontiers for ages. They're all about big dreams and bold moves. In the USA, entrepreneurship is like a celebrated sport. It's a place where you can dream big, take risks, and maybe even become the next big thing. There's a lot of money and opportunity, and it's like saying, if you can dream it, you can do it. The United States is kind of known for entrepreneurship and huge-scale companies and titans of industry. It almost feels as if top Canadian business owners ultimately end up going to the US. I don't think it's a case that Canada is doing such a bad job. I think it's a case that America has a larger market and more opportunities for investment. So the best and the brightest of Canada often end up working in the US market. The gist? If you want to be the next Elon Musk, America is the country you need to be in to make that happen. If you want to open a smaller boutique IT software technology that's going to get acquired by a larger group, Canada might be the place to incubate that. It's unfortunately a little too specific to the business to know which country would serve you best as a business owner. Christy's 2 cents? To be brutally honest, I've worked with entrepreneurs to know that those who are super serious about their business will probably do a ton of research to figure out which country and its policies are going to serve the company best. You already know the questions to ask and have already done the research. However, if you are dreaming of giving up the corporate gig or the 9-to-5 cycle eventually, that is, and you're dipping your toe with an internet side hustle business while you do your regular job, both countries are pretty equal in setting you up for success. What may be more important is the urban versus rural divide, as well as finding communities of, gasp, real people who can connect you to the opportunities and networks you need to grow the damn thing. I would research the cities and the community and connect with your local business association for insights. I end all the chapters of my book with a set of questions that's supposed to help provoke thoughts. If you want to, you can buy the book at the link down below or fill out the submission form and I will send those questions to you. Okay, so for those of you who want to know about the passport story, it was rough. So rough. I had my passport stolen while visiting back in South Africa. Of course it was South Africa. And it essentially ate a huge amount of the trip up because no one in South Africa knew what they were doing for a Canadian passport. And then when I finally got the emergency passport and had to go through the gates, I think they were trying to bribe me by telling me that my passport wasn't valid. And I lost my ever-living mind and started crying so hard that people were like coming up to me, is she okay? What is happening? And at the end of the day, they let me onto the plane with the passport. Turned out it was valid, but it really put a sour taste in my mouth. Yeah, do not recommend you losing your passport. Wear the little money belt that you tuck in so that no one can steal it from you, and never even try not to act foreign when you're in South Africa, because that is an indicator that they want to take your money or your passport.